So, what do the Great Pyramids and your favorite song have in common? It might sound strange, but they both start with a blueprint. Today, we're going to unlock the secrets of how to write music, but we're not doing it in some stuffy classroom. Nope, we're taking a trip down the Nile to the world of ancient Egypt.
You know that feeling when you hear a song and just think, wow, I wish I could create something like that? Well, you're in exactly the right place. The truth is, the basic ingredients for making music are way simpler than you might think, and we're going to uncover them together.
And to make things interesting, we'll be using the incredible world of pharaohs and pyramids as our inspiration. Let's see what some ancient creativity can teach us about making music today.
All right, so here's our mission, if you're up for the challenge. We're going to put together a musical toolkit that'll give you everything you need to start thinking like a composer, all with a little ancient Egyptian twist, of course.
I mean, think about it. An architect can't build a pyramid without tools, right? Well, a composer can't build a song without them either. For us, those tools are just a few simple musical ideas. Let's go get them.
Okay, first things first. We've got to build our musical toolkit. These are the absolute essential building blocks of pretty much every single song you have ever heard, from a pop hit on the radio to a huge symphony orchestra piece.
First up in our toolkit is melody. This is the heart and soul of a song. It's the main tune, right? The part that gets stuck in your head that you find yourself humming hours later. It's just a series of notes put together in a way that sounds good.
And you know, melodies themselves are often built from even smaller pieces. That's where the motif comes in. A motif is like a short, catchy musical signature. A famous example, the first four notes of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. Da-da-da-da-do-do-do-do-do. That's a motif. It's a tiny idea that you can repeat and build on.
What's next? Tempo. This one, super easy. It's just the speed of the music. Is it slow and thoughtful, or is it fast and energetic and makes you want to dance? The tempo really sets the whole energy level for your song.
Now let's talk about the mood, or what we call tonality. First up, you've got music in a major key. Generally, this is going to sound bright, happy, and optimistic. Think about the music you'd hear at a party or a big celebration. That's almost always in a major key.
And the flip side of that is the minor key. This creates a totally different feeling. It can sound more somber, more dramatic, or even a little mysterious and tense. It's perfect if you want to create a bit of drama or a really deep emotion.
And there you have it. Our toolkit is complete. Let's do a quick recap. We've got our melody, which is the tune, our motif, the little core idea, our tempo, which is the speed, and our choice of major or minor for the mood. With just these four tools, we are ready to start building something.
So we've got the tools, now for the fun part. How do we actually use them to build a melody? It's like we've got the bricks and the mortar, but now we need the actual blueprint to put it all together.
One really powerful way to do this is a technique called call and response. Just picture a musical conversation. One instrument or voice might ask a question by playing a little phrase, that's the call, and then another one answers it. This little back and forth makes music sound super dynamic and engaging.
And just like a good story is organized into a beginning, middle, and end, a song needs a structure. This is the song's map. The classic example you already know is the verse-chorus-verse structure in most pop songs. It basically tells the listener where they are in the musical journey. So now we've got a really clear process. You start small with a little idea, your motif. Then you grow it into a full melody. You can spice it up using some call and response, and finally, you organize the whole thing into a logical structure. And that's it. That's composing in a nutshell.
Now, music is rarely made by just one person, right? It's usually a team sport, and that's where an ensemble comes in. It's really just a word for a group of musicians all performing together, whether that's a couple of drummers or a whole orchestra.
And you know what sounds incredibly powerful? It's when everyone in that ensemble plays or sings the exact same melody at the exact same time. That's called playing in unison. It creates this one huge, unified, and really strong sound.
Okay, so imagine you've done it. You've created a masterpiece in your head. That's awesome. But how do you remember it? And maybe even more important, how do you share it with other musicians so they can play it exactly the way you hear it? The answer is notation. Think of it like a written language for music. It's a system of symbols that represents the sounds, just like the alphabet represents the words we speak. It's the universal language that lets musicians from all over the world play the same piece of music.
A really key part of notation is showing the rhythm. And as you can see here, different symbols tell you how long to hold a note. A quaver is super quick, just half a beat.
A crotchet is a solid one beat. And then you have longer notes, like the semibreve, which you hold for 4 whole beats. This is how composers get super precise.
And you know, there's more than one way to do this. The one you've probably seen most is staff notation. Those are the little dots on the 5 lines that show you how high or low a note is. But there's also a simpler way, just using the letters A through G. They're all just different dialects of the same musical language.
Which brings us all the way back to where we started. We've got all these really clever ways of writing music today. But what if you had to invent a system completely from scratch, thousands of years ago?
The ancient Egyptians used these beautiful hieroglyphs to record their entire world, their history, their beliefs, their day-to-day stories. So let's just ask a crazy question. What if they also used them to write music? What would a melody look like if it was written as a string of these incredible ancient symbols?
And that's really the big idea here. Musical notation isn't some set of boring, rigid rules. It's a creative solution to a problem. So after everything we've talked about, melody, rhythm, structure, I'm going to leave you with this one final challenge. If you were to invent your own way to write music down, what would it look like? What would your musical hieroglyphs be?